Hey everyone, it's Bill with another indie book rec for you, and today I am going to bring on the smut by Dani Finn, Wings So Soft. Now, this fantasy romance is just one of my favorites. But first, let me just say, Dani was one of the first people to, really bring me into the indie community a couple of years ago, and Dani's stories are just all a lot of fun. They're all romances in some level, not all of them, but most of them, and they all take place in this really interesting world that Dani created, where there is a non-human species of people, that live with humans, and they're all covered in hair. They're not bear people. They're not like that. They have beards and all this stuff. But anyway, they're at war with the humans. And this romance specifically, this story, is there is two main characters. There's Mara, who is a tracker for the government, and she has this owl called Cleo, which they do their tracking, and they're at war. So there's like the humans are bringing some technology in, and the owl's perfect for picking out this technology. And then on the other side, there's an artificer named Ufrin who is creating a mechanical owl. So that's how their paths cross. Is Ufrin wants to make friend, is what he calls his mechanical owl, to be more owl-like. And then insta-love. This book's not very long, but it's insta-love. And what's really cool of how Dani makes this story work is that there's tender moments between these two characters in their romance. They go out on a date, they go to a noodle shop, they spend time with the owls and stuff like that. And there's a lot of smut that happens in this story. Not a little bit, but a lot of it. And that's all well and good to stuff too. But then there's the backdrop of the war, and Mara goes on this excursion with Cleo. There's the humans are bringing this new technology with these little, like, almost little balls that are like drones that can explode and stuff. So that was really cool because it balances war and romance and what happens when those two worlds collide. And then there's some cool technology. There's like these lenses where they can, see the news and basically what Meta is doing with their AI glasses or whatever they're calling them these days. But they send emails and text messages to each other and stuff. So it's a cool world. And then, like I said, Insta Romance, which was just so much fun between these two. And I really love this book. And I've read a number of Dani Finn books. And this is the one I would suggest you start with. It's not the first in Dani's series, but it's definitely one that I think stands out the best of the ones I read as far as like telling this story of this world. So I highly suggest, if you need a fantasy romance with a little bit of smut, just check out Dani Finn's work. Very cool stuff. Very great person. Check out Dani Finn's Wings So Soft. And I'll be back next week with another indie book rec for you. See you later.